Oh yeah, good manual. Oh yes. Oh sweet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Rocking it out. Oh, a little too far. Oh gosh. This is a little embarrassing. Yeah, I'm wearing tights. Yep. This is a bib. That's because this video isn't about manuals. Let me show you something over there. Hello, welcome to Shad Life, where I have over 40 years of BMX and mountain biking experience, and I like to share it with you awesome people. I also have a couple of years of training experience. I never was really into training before because it was just so boring, like either being on an exercise bike or on this kind of trainer. I did teach a class when I owned a fitness studio a few years ago. There was a partnership. And I taught a cycling class called Cycle Sculpt, things like that. That's on a fixed, studio bike, things like that. But aside from that, I don't have a ton of this style training experience with a road bike. I got into doing more training a couple of years ago on December 17th, 2019, right before the pandemic came around, right? I had a total knee replacement surgery on my left knee, and I bought just a regular wheel-on trainer to get my leg strength back and to get the full rotation and capability of my knee. It's pretty good. And that's kind of evolved to me getting Zwift and then doing more like rides and interactive, and I was like, oh, this is much better than just sitting on a trainer without anything going on. And then I've evolved to spending $1,200 on a direct drive Wahoo kicker. This thing's awesome, worth the money, totally worth the money. And I've got the steering device. I've kind of geeked out totally on this. Today we're trying out RGT Cycling app. I want to compare it to Zwift and see what the differences are or what the similarities are. And I'm pretty locked on to Zwift. I have a membership. I've up to level 21. I've earned a lot of what they call drops, sweat. It's kind of like points, and the more drops you earn, you can buy wheels, bikes, upgrades, things like that. Makes you a little faster in the game. I've done some racing events. I'm pretty dedicated to Zwift, so it's hard for me to think, oh, I want to switch to a different app and start from scratch. But why not check out another app and see how good it is? If it's better than Zwift, I can't see why I wouldn't want to make a switch or maybe use the two interchangeably. The only problem with that is then, I'm not earning more on Zwift as I do the other app and things like that. Like, I only have so much energy, right? So anyway, babbling on, let's go get on this screen here, because this is a terrible view for you to be able to see the app, and I'll check it out. This is the first time I'm going to try this app. I just set it up, so you and I are going to figure this out together. Okay, that was kind of a cool intro. Alright, let's click on my rider name. I did go in here and at least set up the basics of this app. Looks like I have to wait. They want you to go premium. I'm doing the free version. So it looks like they give you a little timer there. Okay, now we're in the main menu. They have Just Ride, which is going to give you a bunch of riding courses. Looks like quite a few. Oh, okay. Well, not a ton, but good amount. And then come over here, there's all kinds of events. I'm assuming if this is similar to Zwift, there's probably group rides, races, things like that, like a weekend warrior, so you can ride with a bunch of riders. Gives you the distance, how much climbing you have to do during that 22 miles, how many riders are on there, kind of cool. And then there, of course, is workouts. Workouts are going to be kind of predefined workouts. This would be similar to like if you ever go to an exercise gym and on one of their bikes, they'll have these kind of predefined workout things. Very similar, except you'll ride in like one of these maps, right? So we're gonna go try one of these out here. I'm gonna pick this one because it's only 6 miles and it's got 551 feet of climbing. I don't really want to put in a ton of effort just to do this little video. Here's a shorter one. Well, let's do this one. So we're going to go ahead and click in to this ride. All right. So a couple of things that I like off the bat here. I do like to give me this distance. There must be a little bit of ride in because that's like 5.5 miles, 551 feet of elevation. That's our start, and then, it looks like they'll let you choose your start position somewhere on this course, right? So that's kind of cool. I could say, I want to start at the top of this big hill, right? That's another thing I like about this is I do like that they give you the elevation graph here because okay, I'm going to start out on a downhill, and then I get some flat, and then I'm going to do this big climb, big 426 feet climb, if you want to consider that a big climb. It's kind of average. And then we come bombing down a hill and then do another short, quick climb. It's pretty detailed on how those climbs are going to go. So I'm going to get a steep climb, a little bit of a break, steep climb, tiny break, steep climb, break, then get to the top. I do like that. That's something Zwift doesn't really show. They don't show you these kind of details. Kind of one of the reasons why I like that there's competition for Zwift is maybe Zwift will go, maybe these are kind of things riders like. Is kind of what are they getting themselves into? I'm a big fan of knowing what I'm getting myself into. All right, let's do the ride. I'm going to click ride. Keep in mind, this is my new gaming computer. I brought it up a couple days ago on an update. Gaming laptop. So load times are going to vary. This thing's pretty powerful. I mean, it's a Ryzen 9. It's got a GeForce RTX 3070 graphics card, things like that. So before we start, let's look at this. Here's my sensors. I have to turn these different things on based on my app. So I do want my heart rate to show up. Oh, there it goes. It just got kicked in. I want my cadence and my power. It looks like it's going to use this right from my trainer. I don't know why it would use steering. From what I heard, there is no steering in this app. But, I mean, I can turn it on and see if there's steering. So, yeah, this looks good. I can, if I'm a little tired or don't want to go full difficulty, I can adjust that here. That's really cool. So I'm going to just let this default set. The only thing I set is that. And see if that works. If not, we can stop and come back to this and play around with these settings. There isn't anything telling me what I should do for what. It's just kind of pre-selected these things. So let's hope that it knows what it's doing. Okay, so, all right, I'm in this game now, looking over in the upper left, if you can see my cursor. We've got power, cadence, heart rate. I'll just start pedaling a little bit so we can start moving. Even see if that works. Yep, it's working. So there I'm moving. And then if we go over to the right, I'm just going to take it easy here for a minute. I'm on a downhill, so I'm going to probably start hauling pretty fast. Yeah, 30 miles per hour. Downhill slope right here. It tells you my slope. That's cool. You can see my stats, my heart rate, my cadence, my power. Someday I'll talk about my heart rate because it's a little bit silly. This is my distance, how much distance I have remaining. I like that. How much I've climbed so far. It's got really good details over here. I'm also looking at the bottom, moving my mouse around, so I'm going to stop moving my mouse so that little menu goes away. And then, look at my rider's tucking. Pedaling. There, the menu went away. So look at the bottom. See that graph? You can see where I am on the left there. I'm at bigger bubbles, and the little bubbles, I'm assuming, is just other riders. And then right above my bubble, you'll see a list of riders that are close to me. It's kind of cool. It tells me how many are online, 67. I like that. So now I'm getting into the flats. So that means I'm going to have to actually like pedal. But I'm going to try to keep it right around, it's something that I can talk with, like around 180 power or something. Okay, so I don't run out of breath too quickly. And then we look over here on the upper right, you see my speed 22 something, how much time I've been riding for. Completely flat. I'm on a 0 degree slope. All right, so pretty cool. And then there's a map underneath showing me where I'm at on that map. So I know I roughly started in the upper left corner of the map. It doesn't show me my start end point, which is interesting, but it is what it is. So here we go. All right, so now we've got all the things on the screen out of the way. Let's talk about the graphics here. So according to this game, they say that this is an actual route. So this should be like a real world course out there in a country, and again, I forgot, but one of these countries. So I'm on this path, cruising through some farm fields. Seems like some houses and buildings here and there, and I believe there's kind of even a town here, right? Kind of cool. Yep. All right. I like the graphics in the sense that, you know, it's kind of like almost like fall or something, early fall here. And, you know, they're not like high-end, top-of-the-line gaming graphics that you would expect if you were playing some of the latest, greatest games. But I just feel like that's not necessary. I'd rather the app be more accurate and be, you know, the quality of the experience and not worry so much about the graphics. And these are turned up all the way. My computer is pretty powerful, so they're not being dumbed down because of my computer. I just noticed something in the upper left. You'll see a yellowish cyclist getting closer to me. That's the person in front of me, so I can see who I'm gaining on, and it's probably trying to get me to draft, but it's going to end up being me passing this person. Yeah, there, I'm right behind him. Yep, that's kind of cool. So it lets me know the draft. Zwift does that. It actually does it in the center of the screen. We're going to be getting to this climb here shortly, and that means I'm going to have to work. Oh, check this guy out. Now he's drafting me. I passed him. He's taking advantage of it. You can do that in these games. Kind of funny. So, all right, here's the start of this climbing challenge. I'm not going to push and try to get a good time on it since I'm just doing a review. But if you wanted to, this is when you push hard and try to do this climb. In Zwift, they call them KOMs. I don't know what they really call them in this game. So, here we go. So I'm going to run out of breath really quick here. You can see I'm at a 3.8% climb. Now it just went to 5.8. So I'm going to get tired and out of breath. So let's get up this climb. Oh, that's cool. There's like one of those hand trikes that disabled people use. I'm curious now. That'd be cool if they allow people with hand trikes to do these. All right, let's get up this climb. I'm putting the power down now. Won't last, though, I'll tell you that much. But the nice thing is I can see exactly where I'm at, so I know how much effort I have left. riders coming down the hill. If you don't know this already, everybody you see on here, somebody else in the world doing what I'm doing right now. That's kind of cool. Ooh, it's got a little steeper. I'm about halfway up this steep part. Whew. All right. I'm getting tired. Almost to the top of the steep part. Guy ahead of me is crushing me. Alright, I need to back off a tiny bit. Recover. I'm not done climbing, so it's good to use these flat parts to recover. So when I get to that next climb, a little more recovered. See how I drop my power down in the 170s, 160s. Breathe. Once we get to the top of this hill, I'll start talking about the game a little more. Somebody taking a rest. I don't blame them. Alright, more climbing. Somebody gonna pass me. Oh God. Alright. Back to dropping my power, recovering. So, got one little climb left before it gets up shot. So I've got 2.3 miles remaining. Oh. Almost there. There we go. Whew. Alright, a little recovery. Got the downhill. Oh, I'm sweating. So, a couple of things I've noticed is the power isn't identical to how Zwift is doing it, so it's a little weird. Not 100% sure my settings are correct, if I have to do a calibration, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's see. I am on a downhill, so this power seems about right. So on a downhill, I'm just kind of casually pedaling at 75 RPM, putting it in right, jumping all over the place. But should be around 180 to 200 watts. Hello, dog. All right. Cool. Now I'm a lot further left to go, 1.2 miles. Let's do this. Woo. Alright, now we're on the descent. Alright. Woo. Cover here. I see the power jumping around a lot in the upper left. It doesn't seem accurate to what I'm doing. Don't know why. So I want to look into that. But aside from that, everything else seems pretty good. Now we're going to go into that last steep climb. Again, another challenge that I'm not going to do right now. But it's pretty cool. Paterberg challenge. So for those people who like KOMs and stuff, like in Zwift, they got them in this game. Here we go. There's the start of the challenge. Whew. But, because I'm doing a video demonstrating this, I'm just going to take it easy. Let's get some watts up there, though. Not that easy. Got to put in a little effort. This should, when I get to the top of this climb, my guess is that's the end of this loop. Here we go. Almost there. Yeah, it's telling me 0.1 mile remaining. So I'm almost there. Top of this climb will be the end. 4 miles per hour. Up to 17 point. There we go. Almost 20% grade. Holy moly. I don't have anything left. I got a football field left to go. Wow. There's a start. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, that dude's going to cruise down the hill. So I'm going to stop. Cool. So there you go, there's my stats. You can see my distance, how much I climbed, my average power, 208, how long I rode for, max power, 377, max speed, probably on that steep downhill, average speed, 16.6, makes sense with as much climbing as I'm doing. I actually think it seems high, but I mean, but 208, yeah, I guess I was pushing pretty hard. 69 average cadence, average heart rate, 128. I don't know what this one is, or that one. So those are some numbers I should probably look up. Cool. Alright, let's get off the trainer and talk about this for a minute. Man, that was a short ride, but it was a lot of work. Some big climbs in that one. Okay, so let's recap that. The resistance seems a little off to me. I don't know if I have to do a calibration or I have to select different options. It still worked me, but it wasn't what I was expecting when I compared to Zwift. So I'll figure that bit out and get back to you on that with another little short recap. But all in all, it was a pretty good experience. I did like the looks of the app as far as what I was riding. It's, again, what I mentioned, it's not top high-end video game graphics. This laptop that I'm using is powerful, Ryzen 9, what is it, RTX, GeForce RTX 3070, 32 gigs of RAM. So I mean, it is a powerful enough machine to run pretty high-end gaming graphics. So what you saw there is probably the highest level their graphics get, which isn't terrible, because I would rather care about how it rides, how it interacts with the bike, how it feels, and the stats and all of that, than how perfect the graphics are. If I'm playing, high-end video games, yeah, I'm gonna get all nitpicky about the graphics. But for this kind of stuff, I really hope these companies keep the graphics relatively basic. That is basic graphics in 2022 terminology, and focus on it being on a wider range of devices, so people don't have to buy really expensive computers to do these apps and things like that. Zwift is like that also. They don't have super high computer requirements. They did just update that recently, but yeah, you should be on Windows 10 and on a machine that's at least 5 or 6 years or newer, right? Like, all right, so that's pretty cool. I'm impressed. Will I switch to it? Will I start paying for it? No, absolutely not. I'm too ingrained in Zwift, and it's not enough to make me want to make a switch over there. But I do like that Zwift now has competition in this space, because the more apps that do this and push those boundaries, hopefully it makes Zwift improve, and hopefully it makes these guys improve, and so on and so forth, and then it makes everybody up their game. When Zwift is the only game on the block, then they can take their time. They don't have to do updates as often, whatever, because that's the only thing to use. Now they have some competition. They've got to step up their game a little bit. So that's always a good thing. The other thing is, and that's missing in both Zwift in this game, is I really do wish they had more variety. So these are very road bike focused, but it's 2022. I think it's time we start dedicating some stuff to mountain bikers. I'm not going to say the enduro and downhill crowd, because how are you going to do an app like that? You need a pretty crazy contraption, whatever. But at least cross-country mountain biking, right? And some off-road kind of cool stuff. I hope some of these companies start doing that. The reason why is because Zwift introduced that Repack Ridge in 2019. It's a 2-mile mountain bike test course that involves the steering, and I've done a video on that. I'll put that video right up there in the corner, and I really like that. I like that steering interactivity mountain biking, and it was a good workout, but it's a 2-mile thing, and they haven't done anything since. I mean, 2019, it's 2022, and there hasn't been any new mountain bike courses introduced or anything like that, or even any like steering and activity ones. Yes, you can do steering in Zwift within your lane, but you can't, you don't have to steer. You could just ride straight and it'll steer you automatically. The mountain biking course, you have to steer or you're going to ride off course. I like that, actually. A bit more interactive, right? So I hope to see some of that. Either one of these, like if this RGT company starts doing mountain biking and steering like that, trust me, I will be all over it if it's good, right? So there you have it. It's pretty good. I'm more impressed with it than I thought I would be. A couple more things to figure out. That was my first time trying it, and every time you try something new like this, you never really know what the results are going to be. So that is my review of the RGT Cycling app. In comparison to what I think about it compared to Zwift. Really appreciate your support from my channel. I believe this might be the first time you've seen me in tights on my channel. please like and subscribe. Peace.